Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to achieve a target, and my target is to implement at least one test, one feature. For example, I will implement at least one test for you, and then later you can follow the same strategies to implement the remaining features, to test the remaining features. So my target is to test the first screen. Let me open the local host. So first of all, I will want to test the uh, simple login system by using email and password, like really at gmail.com. Next. No, I think this is not a correct email. Maybe this one. Okay. Okay. So you just saw that I just typed the email and password and logged in. I want to test the same feature with the help of end-to-end testing and Cypress. So let's do that step by step. So let's look at the file structure for the client connect again. So here the integration, you can see the folder structure that I have created. I set the numbers. I have prefixed the name of the folder with the numbers. The purpose of this that I want to run end-to-end testing with a specific order. I don't want to run them in any random order. So with this approach, it runs the test in a desired order. So this is a first folder that is about the landing page, and second is the dashboard. And in the dashboard, you can see there are many further subfolders, and I also set the numbers from 1 to 3 again in the subfolders as well. And you can see after the folder there are some also basic files that also have the number like 1 2 3 4 5. So you can just look at it. So this was for the landing page where we will sign in, and this is for the dashboard that would appear after login. So we will try to use same kind of approach step by step. So first of all, for us it is not the maybe landing page, or we can call it public folder because that is a public area. So and in the public I will create a file that would be signin.spec like this. So let's do that. So in the e2e folder, I'm going to remove all of the example files. You can see that example files are written very well and in very neat way with a lot of comments. So you can just come here and read it to get more understanding and to understand the methods that they have used. It is very interesting. So, or maybe I will not delete the example. But if I will not delete, then it will run this every time. So maybe I will just move them out of the Cypress folder so that we can look at it later. So eventually we will remove the example folder later because we don't need it. I just kept it for the reference purpose so that you guys can come here and look at it. So this is the integration folder. Here I'm going to create a folder 01 dash public, and I need another folder that would be 02 dashboard, and in the public I'm going to create another file 01 dash sign in dash dot spec dot ts. I think like this. Let me check. Yes, it is sign in dot spec dot ts. So we also need to check if TypeScript support is enabled or not so far, because as we saw that by default in the examples folder they have used only JS file. So I'm not sure if TypeScript will work, so I will have to look at it. I will have to check if TypeScript will work or not. Let me look at the original project in the Client Connect, how we managed to use TypeScript. So here we will check several things. I think we have the TypeScript ts config file here. Maybe that will help us to use the TypeScript. So let's copy it. I will paste it here. So so let's see. Alright, so we have created the sign-in spec.ts so far here, and I will look at the client connect sign-in file. So this is the client connect sign-in file, and we can see that here first of all we will have a describe block. So describe block is the main container. So you can have a lot of describe blocks. You can nest them to any deep level you want. So this is the first level block of the describe. This is the sign in. You can write any. This is the actually description of this, as we can understand from the name of this function. So you will type the name of, or you can type the description, and this is a function. In this function, we will write our other code, and this is our specs. So these small blocks will contain our tests. So we call it spec. This is also a spec. This is a, it. You can also call it block. So and before each, this is the function that runs this function every time before every it block, before every spec. So whatever you will write in this function will run after before every spec. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a new instance of this class before every it block, because we don't want to depend on the previous test. So we should try to make our specs independent to the previous tests, if that's possible. So every test should be independent, and should not depend on the previous one. So that is why before every test I'm recreating the instance of this class. Let's talk about this class. What is this? This is a helper class that I have added in the support folder. So I actually created these classes and functions to reuse the code and to make the code more readable. For example, if you look at this line here, I'm saying landing page helper dot sign in. So apparently it looks like there is just one line of code, but no. In this file, I have written a lot of line of codes. So I wrap them in a single function, and the name of the function is very readable and human friendly. So you can just read and follow it. So I'm going to open the sign-in function. In the sign-in function, you can see that there are a lot of things that I have done in this function. And this is a kind of function that can be reused in many places. So that is why I have added it in the reusable function class, and I'm reusing it in the way that I just show you in this way. So same kind of approach we are going to use for this new project. So let's follow it step by step. So first of all, we need the describe block. Let's do that. It says sign in, and here I will write my first it block, my spec. It should validate the login form, and now I will pass my function here. All right. As this is not failing yet, so maybe this will pass. Let's test it first. npx cypress open. Now you can see that it is showing the folder structure and the file structures here with the numbers, and it is also taking care of the order that we have created. In this folder, you can see the sign-in spec. So you can either click on the run all specs, or you can just click on the just one file to run just one file. So I'm going to click on it. Let's see what happens. So you can see that it has paused because I did not added any code within the spec. So let's see. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to fail my first test to see how it looks like. So CY maybe. Let me check an example. CY get here. It is saying that Cypress CY is not available. Let's look at it. Okay, let's look at the TypeScript setup to see how they manage it to set up the TypeScript. So so they are saying that they recommend this configuration. Let's try this. but this is using the previous node folders from the root directory, but I want to use the node folder from the current directory. Okay, now it is not throwing any error about the CY, so we can use it. So this is the globally available object that we can use. It has a lot of methods provided by the Cypress, and this get is the function that you can use to select the DOM elements. You can write any CSS selector here to select any element from your document. For example, I try to find H. I just added the incorrect selector of the element. I just wanted it to fail. Should exist, should be. You can see that it shows a lot of suggestions. That is very nice and cool. You will not do any mistake because of this feature. Should be visible, and if this fails, then it will show you the red error. So you can see that now it is showing the code that we added. So, and it has failed because there is no element with that tag name, so it has failed. So next I'm going to use the real web page to test it. For that, let's see what we did in the client connect. So if I click on the sign in, so first of all we open the sign in form, that open the root directory. Okay, actually this is a bash rc file that I mostly run before start working on the Cypress. What it does is that it exports these environment variables, and any environment variable that starts with the Cypress just imagine that it is provided for the Cypress, so it will consider this name, and it makes this variable available globally in your Cypress project, and this is the base URL Cypress. Actually, this is the variable that is used to configure your project. So if you provide this URL, then it will automatically use this URL. So also I will show you something from here. If you go to the settings page, you will see that there are a lot of configurations that you can use. This is the base URL. So actually these are the all of the configurations that you can configure either by adding in the cypress.json file in the e2e folder here, or you can also provide them using the environment variables of your system like this. So you have to prefix the Cypress, and you have to add the configuration name like this. So this is the built-in uh, configuration variable that will be used, but these variables are custom made. So these are not about the these are not made by the Cypress. These are made by me. I just prefix them with Cypress so that Cypress can include these variables in the project to use. So it is showing you that these are the environment variables that are considered. It picked these variables from these three. Okay, so we are going to use same kind of thing in our project as well. So here I created the bash rc file, and exported this variable, and here I will add the base URL. For example, I take this URL and add it here, and I will run this file. For that you have to do this e2e slash dot bash rc. Okay, file has run. You can, if you want to make sure if that variable has been added into your environment variable or not yet, for that you can use this command echo cypress. So you can see that is working.